We wanted to make learning
Mhm.
easy. We wanted to make learning more addictive.
The success rate in UPSC exam is less than 1%, but there are masses who are preparing for this exam. Is it the emotional quotient with this exam, or because practically I don't see a logic?
I don't think a job is a problem. It's primarily the mindset that students and their parents have and they have seen.
Now, my heart is with everyone, all those 99.9% of the people
Right.
who do not make it.
I decided to drop out within 33 days.
A lot of people are very adamant on their idea. एक हिंदी में कहावत है कि आप अपना नब्ज पकड़ के दुनिया की इलाज मत करो, right? So today we have Bhavya with us. Bhavya is 3 times founder, and currently she is in education space, helping UPSC aspirants to prepare for the test and maximize success. So she has a platform where she's helping UPSC aspirants to get those pinpointed information that could help them to prepare for the test and maximize their success chances. So I'll pass on to Bhavya. I think she'll do justice to the introduction, and now I'll ask her to tell us about her background, what she do, and everything. So Bhavya.
Hi, first of all, thank you, Mihir, for inviting me to this wonderful podcast. I looked into it and there have been some wonderful guests on the show. So it feels privileged to be here with you talking today about government exams and UPSC, and of course, my career journey yet. I'll introduce
Awesome, awesome.
myself. I started my entrepreneurial journey in college with Blue Leaves. I founded this small
Mhm.
academic communities where we used to host them on WhatsApp, told them how to participate in various events throughout Delhi University. So, for those who
Okay.
do not know, there are 52 colleges now. There are almost 60 colleges in Delhi University, with
Mhm.
every college having their own set of events through societies. So, the data was
Okay.
very haphazard that time. Even now, I think the
Mhm.
space is very cluttered, and nobody got to know where are the events happening and how they can participate. So I started my journey with the structurizing and organizing that community. So we scaled up till
Mhm.
5,000 students. And
Mhm.
then sort of COVID happened and everybody had to stop doing those events. So it came to an halt. And
Okay.
also after that, I graduated from college. So the network was no more there.
Mhm.
This was the first
Okay.
journey. I can tell you about the second and the third,
Mhm.
but I'll briefly introduce.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So,
That's okay. I mean,
yeah.
we'll love to know your journey.
So the second journey was straight away after Sanvi. I worked for two
Mhm.
years after my college. My first year, I worked
Okay.
as a research associate at Gartner, and my second
Mhm.
year, I worked as a product manager at Sanfi. But I was
Awesome.
handling an entire brand which was called Breaky,
Mhm.
and I started it from
Okay.
the scratch, mentored by my
Mhm.
founders who were from the Sanfi itself. There I got
Okay.
to understand about D2C, how to do marketing,
Mhm.
inorganic, website building, and some other stuff. Then, with
Great.
a friend of mine, I started this venture called Gift a Melody. So
Mhm.
what it did was it made personalized songs for people like us. So we all dreamt of
Okay.
those Bollywood things, right? Where our name is playing in the song and the lines are dedicated
Right.
especially to us. So we made it possible through Gift a Melody that
Mhm.
instead of gifting
Okay.
anything that the person might use or throw after a while, give them something for a lifetime.
Mhm.
And what is more
Right.
magical than words and music? So we came up with this
Absolutely.
idea where we partnered with some of our artist friends, and we
Mhm.
had this website where they used to fill details about them, their partner, or their loved ones, and we used to curate a song for them. But soon we also realized, due to AI, the scale of the business was not very high. We still continue
Mhm.
running it, but very exclusively for some high budget clients for weddings only. And currently, I'm doing CSEWhy. And as we
Mm-hmm.
just discussed before this, CSE stands for Civil Services Examination and finding your why about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, why you should do
Awesome.
civil
Awesome.
services? Yes.
Great. Great. Perfect. Amazing. I mean, a very exciting, very amazing journey. No, I believe at a very young age you have seen a lot of into the business, into the market. So we'll try to uncover a few of this basic stuff, right? And so that all our viewers who are aspiring entrepreneur, or like trying to get into the certain space will
Right.
take some insights from this conversation. So now, putting up like a gift to melody, right? You started this right after like an year of experience, year 2 years of experience. So I believe this was more into B2C space, right? Where you were
D2C.
helping
I feel
directly to
uh, sorry, you were saying, but I'll call
D2C.
it D2C, not B2C.
It's a D2C business, right? And so like how did you penetrate into the market? So like you started with like you said, the music was personalized, right? I understand there is a demand for sure. I mean, I do not have a data to back it up, but I believe that there's a perfect demand for it. So tell us your journey in breaking into the market, and how was the like sales going on like month after month?
Okay. It was very short lived. It was almost
Mm-hmm.
5, 6 months. It,
Mm-hmm.
some of our friends were into the music industry. They were just struggling to make a monetary use out of it. And they used to do
Okay.
this
Okay.
earlier as well, but very manually.
Mm-hmm.
So, with me and
Hmm.
my partner coming along together, we just decided to take this digitally on a website where everything
Mm-hmm.
can be organized in a better way and we can get a whole new market through Instagram,
Okay.
Facebook, social media that can help us connect with the right people who are willing to pay for
Mm-hmm.
such services.
Okay. Okay. Cool. And how did you advertise this? Like, how did you reach out to people? Like, did you use the social media? Like, what happened? If you can just
Yes.
provide some insight on that.
We did performance marketing, and because at that time we did
Okay.
not used to have a lot of money and budget, I
Mm-hmm.
asked my friends to record some music videos for us where they're acting and proposing
Mm-hmm.
to each other, and they were also from the theater
Okay.
school and trying their career in some way. So it was more of a portfolio
Mm-hmm.
shoot for them, and for me, I was
Mm-hmm.
getting great models at a very affordable or no price at all. So we made a couple of
Understood.
ads with their faces and our songs, and it ran pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
We started with Valentine's thing. We started in January, and
Great.
Valentine's is a great time to sell music, and it
Mm-hmm.
hit really well. We had few of the samples on
Okay.
Spotify, and
Nice.
after that, it was more of a wedding season because in June, July, there are like almost half of the half of the youth gets married in the country that way because of the Murat. So
Mm-hmm.
we got good business from there, and then word of mouth. And I'm surprised still
Okay.
there are people who want to remake the music for their loved ones for their anniversaries or maybe any other big
Right. Right.
occasions.
Okay. Okay. So technically, it was more of like word of mouth and reaching out to like people you knew in the beginning for the sales. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Good. Coming down to your current venture, like I mean, you started CSEWhy, right? I mean, very competitive space. I
Right,
assume that no, it's been vast. It's a big market, but it's simultaneously it's a very competitive market to be in. So I mean, given your background, like I see that you have almost no education background, building an education background, right?
right,
So how did you identify the market, right? So that no, and I mean, because I believe that there are tons of coaching institutes,
right.
companies that are basically operating in this space, and they have mostly covered up every aspect of it, right? No, I mean, catering to the students. How did you identify that this is the space we need to build in, and there's a market gap into it, so that where you can exploit and build your business? So how did that happen?
Right, right. So, a lot of coincidences played a very big role here at CSEY. I
Uh-huh.
never wanted to do it full time, but somehow the stars aligned it.
Uh-huh.
in a manner.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in 2022, I was preparing for CAT while one of my very good friends were preparing for UPSC. And
Okay.
it was COVID time, and suddenly content was
Mm-hmm.
booming very well. We
Right.
thought to start with some small project where we made 100
Mm-hmm.
videos of 100 articles
Okay.
of Indian Constitution that every Indian should know.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
We shot 100 videos in one single day and then started distributing it in different ways. As in, we
Mm-hmm.
planned that we will have one video every day for the next 100 days.
Mm.
It
Okay.
got us great traction. A lot of NGOs reached out to us
Mm-hmm.
for our story, why we are doing this, how we are doing this. And
Awesome. Awesome.
eventually, PhysicsWala reached out to us and
Mm-hmm.
asked if they would want to sell that whole thing to them as a content piece
Okay.
so that they can host it on
Okay.
their websites and their channels.
Hmm.
We understood a huge gap in the industry where UPSC aspirants almost have a lot of resources, but none of them are in a precise and well edited form. So UPSC is still
Okay.
an industry where everything is very monotonous in nature, especially with content. This is something we understood
Right.
very early while we were
Mm-hmm.
starting this out. So we wanted to change this,
Okay.
and therefore we came up with such sort of videos and resources. We wanted to make
Mm-hmm.
learning easy. We wanted to make learning more addictive. We wanted to make learning more uh, fun in a way. So that's how
Great.
CSEWhy ideologies come into play. And till now,
Mm-hmm.
and till now we follow this principle that in all our resources, in all our courses, in all our videos, the aspirant won't get bored.
Hmm. Good. So the traction is the key for you guys. Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Understood. Help me understand one thing here. Like people, those who start preparing for UPSC, they kind of they do it in two mode. Either they start with the self study or they go to the coaching institute. So they have that fixed inside your mind. I'm going to study from this coaching institute, do the self study, and etc. So how did you guys got the first traction? I know you have already said that. No, you started posting articles, people reached out to you, but building that trust in the community. I
Yes.
mean, so like scaling needs the trust, right? And as competitive market as UPSC, I believe this is the exam where people will go with the trust because they are putting their life in place, right? They're leaving everything behind to prepare for this exam, and trust has to be there in order to pay to someone and consume their content, right? So like how did you guys no operate in that space and gain the trust of the candidates? If you can just put some insight on it.
Yes. So, CCY started with a Twitter page where we used to post
Mhm.
daily content about UPSC and current affairs through Twitter.
Okay.
Twitter is a very
Mhm.
low effort platform where if you actually know substantial information at the right time and you share it in a presentable manner, people will want to read it, people want to react to it. So that's how CSEWhy started. The trust was built along the way when we were consistently
Mhm.
posting every day for over an year. People start reaching out to us with various questions about the exam, about studies, about mentorship, about how to proceed with the examination, how they can prepare, which resources to read, if we have any notes that we have made and helped us. So we understood that there's a huge demand, and therefore it automatically led us to create such products for them. And one of our first product was visual notes, which were actually nothing but the partner I'm currently working with writing his own notes for his own preparation, and people wanted it. So we sold it for a very small price of maybe 199 or 249, and people are willing to
Got it.
pay for it. And as we grew more and made it more structural, uh, there was demand for more resources.
Okay. So awesome, Bhavya. Like understood the entire entire journey. So there's one question that I have right now, like, so it was more of a consistency, right? I mean, you guys kept on posting on Twitter, right? Possibly in other social medias as well, and that kind of built a trust in the community, right? That these are the people, these are the set of people trying to help us, right?
Right.
And then you were able to monetize the product at very minimal price, where everyone could buy it, right? And then you kind of created that community. So how do
Yes.
you track the community? Do you have a website to track them, or you have some sort of social media platform where you basically I mean, track the community or interaction between the community? How do you do that?
So yes, we do have a website. We do have a lot of social media accounts on almost all the platforms. We have presence over
Okay.
Telegram, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, um, WhatsApp. Everywhere we are present. But our primarily the primary channels are Twitter and Instagram, because we are able to interact
Awesome.
mostly there. And yes, we do
Hmm.
post regularly on Telegram as well.
Okay, awesome, awesome, understood. So I mean, that brings me to one question where which is very prevalent in this industry, right? So I see that the success rate in UPSC exam is like less than 1%, but there are masses who are preparing for this exam, right?
Right.
I mean, like, what do you think? Is it the emotional quotient with this exam, or because practically I don't see a logic? I mean, this might sound rude to like people those who are preparing, but what is your take onto it? Like, no, why are the people those, because this data is unknown to everyone, that their success chance is like less than 1%, right? So why there are so many people who are preparing for this test, preparing for this exam technically? So what is your take on it?
You're damn on point when you ask that why people are preparing, because I had the same logic. When I prepare
Hmm.
for CAT, the only reason I went for CAT and not UPSC was the success rate. I understood very early that almost 20-25 lakhs are taking the exams, and then only what 100 people become IS and 1,000 people get some kind of a post, right? So it is not even 1%, it's 0.01%. And
Zero point zero exactly.
yes, and in CAT, you're able to get a good college after 95 percentile. So almost
Hmm.
5%, 4 to 5%, right?
Right.
So understood that if you want to run in a CAT race, at least choose the one which is more in your favor. Coming to your question,
Right.
why people
Right.
do it and why people do it for like several
Hmm.
years, maybe three attempts, four
Hmm.
attempts. So it's mostly
Hmm.
tier two, tier three cities, and even tier four cities where they have seen someone in their network doing government jobs. And government jobs
Hmm.
in India has a huge market, and everybody wants to do it in
Okay.
tier two, tier three cities, especially. They have seen
Hmm.
the lives of their families changing because of the government job. And it is not just the
Okay.
monetary aspect to it, but the whole way the society sees them. It's a power
Hmm.
thing that they get, and for them, government job is the only way to get over that level of poverty. And
Understood.
even in
Understood.
government jobs, UPSC is the top priority. If somebody else is preparing for
Hmm.
some other government exam, they'll definitely prepare for UPSC on the top, because UPSC somehow covers
Right.
everything, and that particular maybe banking or some state or whatever
Hmm.
has a smaller portion to the subset. So it's always
Right.
advised by everybody to give at least UPSC once. What if?
Hmm.
We all play on hopes, right?
Right.
And then
Hopes. Right.
they eventually think of some other career.
Great. Great. So what I've understood from your answer here is like, these are the people who are like uh, underprivileged, possibly in some short, where they want to pick their family from very basic and lift them to at a certain level, right? So kind of government job helps them to do that, right? So do you believe that if we have enough corporate jobs in India, if we have enough jobs to cover like most of the individuals, educated individuals in India, do you see that now aspiration towards UPSC dropping at a certain point, or do you still see that no, this will remain? I'm just curious, like, to understand this, if this is just because of the need or because of the emotional quotient involved here.
So, emotional quotient is definitely very high. Need is somewhat there, but slowly it is reducing. There are less number of government
Hmm.
jobs day by day, and even like the top um, tier politicians also tell them to go for the private sector, because with a lot of
Hmm.
automations there's a development of new jobs. And your
Right.
question was that why people are still doing it, and is there actually a need? Uh,
Right.
and if India can have enough job in private sector, will people shift to it?
Enough jobs. Right.
Yes.
Right.
I don't think a job is a problem. It's primarily the mindset that students and their parents have
Hmm.
and they have seen. India will take another
Right.
10 years, in my opinion, because it still it is definitely there with internet coming along, but it's still not there yet. And a lot of education has to happen with respect to new age careers and how people
Hmm.
can earn through internet and digitally.
Right. Awesome. So great pointers here. I mean, I understand there are less success rate, but people want to do it because there's some sort of emotional thing involved here, right? With the need, there's also emotional stuff involved here. So they're putting their heart out day in, day night to prepare for this exam, and then they make it through. Good. So all good to people, those who make it, right, make it through the interview round and everything. Now my heart is with everyone who do not, right, all those 99.9% of the people
Right.
who do not make it to this exam. My heart goes to them, right? So tell us, what are the alternative career for them, because I see that they are kind of putting their prime into preparing this exam, right? They're from prime 20s, right? So I see the people starting somewhere around there when they are 20, 21, right? And it takes them on an average, I have seen the data average, it's like 3 to 4 attempts for an exam, right? Which will kind of put them in mid 20s to late 20s, right, where their prime uh, is kind of spent in preparing these exams, right?
Right.
So what is your take into this? Like, I mean, what are the alternative careers? Is there any platform that is helping them to kind of know, because I know that they have built a character with the preparation for sure, right? Because grinding day in and day out for years take character, right?
So mostly the aspirants who want to do UPSC are either of two types. I'll describe both of them.
Mm-hmm.
First one are
Mm-hmm.
the people who are very academically inclined. They are either doing their
Hmm.
PhDs or masters, and along with that, they are doing their
Okay.
UPSC attempts. For example,
All
history
right.
honors students, or somebody who's pursuing history, or maybe subjects like
Mm-hmm.
that. So meanwhile, they are studying, they are also preparing for the exam, so it helps them. So the first category
Okay.
of the aspirant are who are academically bent and they want to attempt it, right? The second
Hmm.
uh, category, which is almost 80%, is that they want to work with government. In that case,
Right.
they go for maybe public policy or some other government exams like state PCS and
Hmm.
banking. And there's so many depending on different days. There's UPSC, of course, comes in like the tier one thing, but there are almost so many options available for these aspirants as well. But still, they cannot cover as much as the Indian population is. So after that, I have seen most of the people opting for either NGO career or research career or public policy.
Hmm.
All of them
Okay.
still have a very less success ratio in terms of monetary benefits they give to students,
Hmm.
and therefore people also think of alternative career, but there's a huge gap in terms of industry experiences and what they have as skill sets. And somehow CSEWhy
Okay.
is trying to solve this through CSEWhy Plan B, where we tell them that you have certain
Okay.
skills, but you have to acquire certain more skills to be industry ready.
Mm-hmm.
right? So,
All
like
right.
aspirants do
Awesome.
not know how to make basic CV, how to maybe sell themselves, how to present themselves, how to tell a company that what value they can add, and how to convince people in a way that other can resonate with their thoughts, which are maybe non-political or non uh, how do I explain this? Okay, something that is different from their academics, but still very useful because they have
Hmm.
developed that certain acumen of reading and writing a lot, right?
Okay.
So
Right.
we are trying to have this gap fulfilled through CSEWhy Plan B, where we teach them about these things as well and how they can form careers
Hmm.
in this space.
Awesome. Awesome. No, I mean, great job, first of all. Like, no, I really appreciate the initiative you guys have. No, I didn't knew about the plan B, like, but this seems to be really, really great. Let me know if you guys are raising funds. Possibly we can talk in some way, because I believe this is like one of the space I wanted to cater as well, and there are people I know would be really interested. All right, awesome. So now I've seen your profile. Like, no, there's this very interesting thing I noticed. Like, no, you dropped out of IIM right after 3 months, right? How did that happen? Like, what happened there? Like, and because usually this is not the trend, right? So you got into one of the good IIMs, I believe it was IIM Rohtak, if I'm not wrong.
Right, right, right,
IIM
right.
Rohtak. So you got into one of the good IIMs, right? I mean, and suddenly dropping out of that, there's something would have come up in your mind, and I'm sure very logical. Let us know what happened and how do you, like, see it coming forward. Do you regret it, or basically you find it really fulfilling decision? So if you can walk us through that.
Yes. Some again, I'll say these are some coincidences that happened to me, but yes, they are very logical in
Mm-hmm.
nature. And
Mm-hmm.
I dropped out of IIM Rohtak in 33 days and not 3 months. My
Okay.
parents really wanted me to at
Okay.
least complete one semester, which was 3 months long, because they have paid certain amount
Okay.
of fees, 5 to 6 lakhs, because IIMs are expensive, right? So they wanted at least complete
Mm-hmm.
this semester and then drop out. But I convinced them
Okay.
because I was way passionate about this. Even in
Mm-hmm.
IIM Rohtak, there are a lot of things in a B school, right? And I'm sure your audience will resonate to it. You do
Mm-hmm.
extracurriculars, you do your studies, you do your assignments, you do your society work, and then you have no time because you also have to manage your sleep for the next day, along with all the new
Right.
people in the new place you are still um, fixing yourself to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I also made it to the placement cell when I decided to drop out. And for those who are already in the B school or know something about it, it is one of the most prestigious societies in any college because you are responsible to place the whole batch. And
Batch. Right.
yeah, the process for it is very rigorous. It has almost 12 to 15
Mm-hmm.
rounds, whereas in generally in societies it is somewhere around 3 to 4 rounds, right? So every day, even after all my prep and my rounds and doing society work, I used to put up some time for CSEWhy just so I could work there.
Okay.
And soon I
Hmm.
realized that this cannot work if I'm continuing my IM journey. I talked to several
Okay.
people about it in the institute. I
Mm-hmm.
talked to my seniors about it.
Okay.
I talked to my placement seniors about it, as in how can this be worked out. They asked me logically, and they gave me some stats about the B school placements as well, which is little confidential
Okay.
in nature. But I understood that
I understand.
I anyway will be making that much money after 2 years, even
Mm-hmm.
if I drop out now. And my dream
Right.
was to just do entrepreneurship even after college, right? So why not start now as I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting the chance and if the market is ready? So I
Okay.
decided to drop out within 33 days. It was my birthday when I dropped out of the college, and I celebrated
Okay.
with my team and my hostel mates, and then I straight away started CSEWhy. We registered the company in the next month. Got some really great connects who helped us and mentored us with several things. And within 3 to 4 months, we got funded as well.
Good. Nice. Nice. Awesome. Awesome. I mean, so there's a book Zero to One by Peter Thiel, and no, there he mentions that no, if the market is like hot, right, and your team is ready, you should strike at the moment, right? Because sometime like no, even in the mature market, if you see the gap, you should dive into straight away. So I mean, I can see that it was obviously a no data backed decision. You must have seen the potential in the market, right? And as you said, no, you raised fund that shows that no, it was kind of no very thoughtful decision. Again, awesome. I mean, like, so just one question, Bhavya, like,
Right.
there has been multiple startups you've been part of, right? So what is one of the key challenges that you can reflect of and tell our audience now? No, I mean, you faced that particular challenge and you came over it, right? I mean, I think that will give us kind of no, I mean, insight. Now could be no, because we know that all the startup go through death valley, right? And I asked all these founders, right, what was the most challenging part they came across and how did they overcome it? Because overcoming that debt valley is important, and a lot of startups dies there. So if you can reflect and tell us any of those situations you
Right.
faced.
So when we started CSEY, initially we were doing resources, but then we thought how
Hmm.
else we can monetize the community. And we thought of several ideas and we thought, let's do merchandise because this is something very cool these days. We came up this slogan,
Okay.
which we really used in our community way often, Bal Buddhi Vidya. And we
Okay.
pre-ordered some 500, 600 t-shirts thinking that they will sell very well.
Awesome.
And
Hmm.
that did not happen. We were hardly able
Okay.
to sell some 100 t-shirts. And we soon realized
Hmm.
that aspirants want resources of study material, not t-shirts or not
Hmm.
merchandise. It was a big failure.
Hmm.
We lost some money over there also. And till the time we figured out the next product, it was very difficult for us to sustain the business and think what next, right? So the biggest challenge
Okay.
was to pivot uh, quickly. And
Hmm.
even now, we are pivoting into tech-based model. We have sold courses and
Hmm.
resources. Now we are figuring it in a manner where we are tech-enabled as well, because this is how uh, everything is able to scale up very well. We are doing this with our team
Awesome.
also, and we are enabling some app which will work on a subscription basis, where you can watch the content like Netflix, and you are paying
Wow.
a
Okay.
certain fee for a month, and you're able to view all
Hmm.
the subjects, all the courses that we have, instead of paying for that course itself. And all the free resources and
Right.
everything is on the app, and you're getting rewarded for completing
Hmm.
any course, any mock test.
Good.
So
Good.
you're getting
Hmm.
rewarded to learn, and this is something we are coming up
Awesome.
very soon. The app is in the demo
All right.
phase. I'm sure there will be again a lot of pivots in this model as well. So the challenge that you said is to just know that this is not the end, and you have to keep re-innovating yourself in terms of what people want out of you.
Hmm. Right. So basically, you understood there was no product market fit, right? When you
Right.
ordered the t-shirts, right?
Right.
Because I believe these are the candidates who are either left their job to prepare or they're taking their parents' money to prepare.
Right.
So they want to spend at a minimum level, right?
Right.
So
Right.
buying a t-shirt was a choice for them, not a necessary
Right.
thing, right? I mean, there was no need for it. So that's what, like, no, I believe there was no product market fit then. And then you made a kind of a pivot which made sure that no, you guys are in the right fit, I mean, in the right product, selling to the right customers. So I mean, that shows that no, every entrepreneurs go through it, right? I mean, like, I have had interview with a lot of people in the I mean, in this podcast as well. Like, I generally meet them in person as well, and they keep talking about making a substantial pivot, right? Because these pivots save companies a lot of time, right? They help you not to close the company or start the company, because a lot of people are very adamant on their idea and they believe that this is something I will have to do because I believe so. एक हिंदी में कहावत है कि आप अपना नब्ज पकड़ के दुनिया की इलाज मत करो, right? So a lot of people, what they do is they think that, okay, they believe it's a product which is available for masses, and they try to force the product on the people, right?
Right.
And there they kind of fail, right? So awesome, Bhavya. It was great chatting with you. I mean, it was a great discussion. Thank you for all the insights.
Lovely.
And I mean, it was good talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mihir. It was lovely for me as well. And I hope we are able to reconnect again.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, perfect. So, uh, bye to everyone, and we're going to see you in the next podcast.
Thank you. Bye bye.